Okay. Sorry for the distraction. So what they do mostly, they look at for the applications or proposal that doesn't make sense, and they sieve it away. So your number one target is to make sure that your proposal stand out. So if they look at your proposal, they will not see any fault in it, because that is their target and that is their focus. So that's why this proposal, how to step by step in writing a winning proposal matters. Some people have a wonderful project and everything, but due to they are not able to develop a compelling proposal, they end up not winning any grant. And that's why this webinar is very, very important. Now, one of the step is by doing your research funding opportunity. Now, identify funders that whose mission align with your project. I said that last week. Make sure that those that you are applying for, the funders that you are applying for, they aligns with your project. It helps you to present yourself. It solve that mass effectively. I With my organization, we don't like applying for so many opportunities, even though I encourage people to apply as much as we can. Yes. So, but make sure that the ones that you are applying are the ones that are in line. It helps you a lot. So far, so good. Like within the past 2 years, through our organization, we have applied for, let me say, about 5 opportunities. I will end up being selected in four. And although the one of the four during the interview stage, we didn't qualify, but out of five, about three we have been selected. We have been selected in three of the application. We have been selected in Unitar project. We are also being selected in USADF project last year. And also this year, there is a project that we are at the stage of being selected. We are at the stage of being in the concluding phase. So you can, it's all about you knowing what is in line with your organization and you apply for it. So, but if you keep on applying for so many applications that is not in line with your project, you have high chance of being not selected. So look for those potential funders that whose mission align with your project or your business. It's easier for you to get funds from them than from other projects. Also, understand these funders requirements. Carefully review the applications, the guidelines, the eligibility criteria, and their evaluation process of each of those funders. All these things are available, so you take time and review all of them. Review their criteria, their eligibility criteria. It will help you to know whether you are eligible for it or not. And one thing I'm more interested in is their evaluation process. It helps me a lot. I pay more attention in that place when applying for any grant, because it's through the evaluation process or the selection criteria you will be able to know the mind of the funders, what they are looking out for. So they are looking out for a project that are scalable. So you know that you ask yourself, this project I want to apply for, this business, is it scalable? What I mean by scalable, can it impact on large number of people? So if you cannot, you have to, in your application, you have to tell it in a way that you are going to tell them that this business or project is going to impact a large number of people, because they want to hear that. Some are looking for innovation, some are looking for tech-driven projects. So these are areas you look out for. Some are looking for a project that are climate inclined. So if you are in agriculture and maybe the founder is looking for a product that is climate inclined, so you have to look out for a way where you are going to position your project in agriculture to be climate inclined. In that way, you'll be able to what? Align your project or your business to meet their goals. I hope I'm making a lot of sense in what I'm saying. So the next thing also you are going to look at for is to craft a compelling statement of need. Now what they call it statement of need. You can either call it statement of need or problem statement. It is common when applying for grants. You always meet this question: which problem are you solving? Which problem is your business or your project solving? So that is a point of that they're trying to want you to craft a compelling statement of need, and this is where a lot of people failed it. Let me tell you one secret, and that secret is that if you fail it in this place, you have failed it in all the projects. And that's why this area is very, very important. If you fail it, they might tolerate you in some other aspect, but they feel if you can't get it right here, because how can you solve a problem where you don't understand that problem? How can you provide a solution on what a problem that you don't understand? So they want to know whether you effectively you have a grand knowledge of the problem you want to solve. So that's why that's why this section is very, very, very important. So how can you draft craft a compelling problem statement? The tip there is that use recent statistics to provide a solid foundation for that problem. Don't just say that my business is solving unemployment. There are statistics that talks about unemployment in your country. There are statistics that talk about unemployment in your state. So use those recent statistics that talk about unemployment if that is the problem you are solving. Share human impact story. Back up that don't just put only statistics, back it up with a story. Story have a way of drawing emotion. It brings emotion, it makes them to connect to what we are narrating to them. Make sure that that problem statement create a sense of urgency, because let me tell you this, if it doesn't create any sense of urgency, they will not be able to fund you. They will look at to leave your proposal and look for proposals that create that sense of urgency. I hope you are following. If what I'm saying you are following, I want you to indicate. Just type I'm following or indicate. Okay, that's good. So make sure that it creates a sense of urgency, and also make sure that you emphasize your then you talk about your solution, and your solution is what is needed to solve that problem. So this is what I will share you an example of a statement of need that you can use. Now this is an example of a statement of need. This is an example of a statement of need. Nigeria is experiencing a severe hunger and food scarcity challenge worsened by climate change. Smallholders farmers who produce most of the country food struggle with reduced rainfall, shorter growing season, and rising temperature. So if what there is a challenge, and the challenge here, the problem here is climate change, and it's causing one thing here, it's causing severe hunger and what food scarcity. So there is a consequences, and it's affecting smallholders farmer. So there is the statistic that back it up, which is being mentioned here. Now I now mention another a story. Adamu Musa, a tomato farmer in Fege, Kano State, lost 90% of his tomato plants in 2024 due to inconsistent rainfall and harsh temperature. And it is also estimated that by 2050, some crop yields are expected to decline by 60% due to climate change. If you watch now, I have put in something that brings a sense of urgency to what to solve this problem of climate change. So there is an urgent need to provide a solution that address what climate change. Now I now present my solution, which is at agroboost we launch solar power irrigation pump leasing services, which aim at helping farmers in Kano State, Nigeria adapt to unpredictable weather, ensuring all year water supply, helping smallholders farmer build resilience to climate change. Can you see this now? If you look at this problem statement, it shows the problem, back up with statistics, it shows the consequences of the problem, and it shows how urgent the problem is. It also shows it also shows the the a story that draws emotion concerning the problem and the solution. So this is how a problem statement supposed to look like. Something that carries out this component. It will give you a problem statement of this, like this structure can give you and age. Hope you are following. Hope what I mentioned here makes a lot of sense. Okay. So the next thing we are going to look now is craft smart project or business description. Craft smart project or business description. Now, another thing that matters now is how you describe your business. How you describe your business. This is where a lot of people also fail out. You have to describe that your business or your project in a way that is smart. What I mean by smart is a project that is specific, a project that is measurable, a project that have timeline, a project that is realistic. Praise God. Praise. Hope you are following. A project that is specific, measurable, that is accurate, that have that is realistic and have timeline. Now, for a project, it's going to have a timeline if you are working on a project. Now, but if what you are working on is not a project, is a business, it means a business doesn't have a timeline, but the business have to be specific on what it's going to solve. Now, you need your business description also need to highlight innovation. What I mean by innovation, because innovation is what makes your business unique. It must highlight it. it it's not only that it's doing that business you are doing. There's if you are into poultry, you're not only the one that is the poultry farmer. There is something that's supposed to make your poultry business unique. So your business or your proposal, the way you are describing it, must highlight the innovation or the uniqueness you are pushing into it. The uniqueness must not be the product. It might be the services you are rendering. So it must not be on the product. So and also that your in you while you're describing your business, it must demonstrate impact. Show how the innovation is going to benefit your target audience. So all these things must be stated. A well described a well described project or business must put in the picture of what you have in mind in the heart of the founder. There's a way you will describe it, and after describing it, that they will have a picture of it. So that is how you are going to describe that your project or your business. I also mentioned an example here which I'm going to share with you so that can give you an 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 edge, a clear understanding of what I meant. Like now, I'm still using agroboost. Agroboost is not my business, but that is what I'm using to as an example for your project for this class. At agroboost, we are transforming smallholders farmer with our solar power irrigation pump leasing services, offering one affordable climate change climate smart irrigation. Our solar pump powered pump enables farmers to irrigate their crop year round, reducing dependency on erratic rainfall. It ensures higher yields and food security even in drought prone area. Pay as you go model. Our services allow farmers to lease pump at low flexible rate, eliminating high upfront cost and making modern irrigation accessible to even the smallest farm, because the target of this project now is not just to lease solar powered irrigation pump, but to make sure that even the poorest farmer can what afford it. So we have a pay as you go model that enable them to what afford it. So if you look at it now, you see innovation not only on leasing the solar irrigation pump, but also in the services. So in that way, you can see innovation in the solution that I'm offering. So the same thing in when you are drafting out your your project or business description, make sure that you sell that innovation there. Make sure that you sell they see the impact your business is going to create in the customer or in your audience, and they see that innovation that makes your business or your project stand out from others, because you're not only the one that is going to submit application, there are so many other people that are going to what submit application. Hope you are following. If what I have mentioned now makes sense, I want you to comment that I'm following. Okay, okay, okay. So that's it. So apart from this, there are other areas in your proposal that you need to also emphasize on. And one of the areas again is budget. One of the areas is budget. One thing again that fails a lot of people, that makes a lot of people get rejected, is also budget. Now, assuming that the funders, what they are giving you and what they make available for each project is $5,000. Make sure that the budget that you are present to them is what, $5,000. And now, if you are presenting a budget of $5,000, make sure that you are able to justify that budget. Now, what I mean by justifying that budget is that if you know that your project or your business doesn't need a car, and part of the budget you are putting a car, if you wash, you are not justifying it, because these people that are going to look at your budget, they are experts. So if they look at your business and your project and they find out that it doesn't need a car and you are putting the money for a car, if you wash, you have already shoot yourself on the leg. You have you have stand the chance of being rejected. So make sure that is what exactly you need. That is what you are putting in that budget. And sometimes they will ask you to justify it, so you explain those things, why those things are important for that project. You explain it. If there is, instead of you buying land and you find out that leasing will be more cost effective, you lease. Let me tell you one reality now, so you understand why this budget is very very important. Now, assuming that what you are demanding for is 500, is $5,000, and that $5,000 from your estimation can only impact on 1,000 people. So they have already calculated 5,000 divided by 1,000. So each person, each people, you are spending $5 per person in that 1,000 audience. But if another person present a budget of that the same 5,000, and that person is targeting 5,000 audience or 10,000 audience with that the same budget of 5,000, and the person's project or business makes a lot of sense, you will see they will leave you and go and fund that person, because to them that person offer higher value and higher impact more than you. So these are things I also want you to understand when you are drafting out budget. So make sure that your budget is economical and is not or is not based on your own. We have done a lot of research and I found out that this is what exactly you need for your project. And if there is any way you can minimize costs, you have already what done that in your project. And another thing again you need to understand, some funders, they will tell you that they don't want to fund overhead. What I mean by overhead, maybe staff, payment of staffs and so on. If they say that you don't want to fund overhead and in your budget you include overhead, you have already failed. So you must understand their criteria, know what they need from their budget, and make sure that exactly what they need from their budget is what you give to them. I hope I'm making a lot of sense. If you understand what I said, I just want you to indicate that you understand. Okay, okay. So that's it. The next thing now is information. Organization information. Now, this is where you say yourself a lot. Now, from my experience, funders easily fund people that have track records. If you have track record for your business or for your project, they can easily fund you than someone that doesn't have track record. So that's why I advise a lot of people to Always document every impact you make. Always document it. Then what they call impact report. Impact report is the report you take every month. So far, have what impact have my business made? What are the testimonies from the customers? So you get feedback from your customers. Those testimony, you need them. These are what form your traction. They don't joke with traction. They don't joke with impact. So document all those impacts because you are going to need them. In your organization information, you write down those impacts, write down those sources, write down those things, projects you have been able to execute, and the impact you have made in those projects. These are things that wow them, that wow, you have made this impact, definitely I can trust you with my money. That is it. That is it. Even you, if you want to get a job, if you want to secure a contract, or you want someone to assist you for a job, you look for someone that is good, and someone that people have what testify about. The same thing, the funders, these are what they look out for. So make sure that in your LinkedIn, in your Facebook, you share those testimonies. That's the secret. Share those testimonies in your LinkedIn, in your Facebook. Let people see it. So because you when you are posting, talking about your organization information, you share those links with them, and they also want to see the proof. And the only way they see the proof is through your Facebook, is through your website, or through your LinkedIn profile and any of other of your social media handle. So that's it. So the next thing is evaluation plan. So they also want you to have a plan that they can easily check to know whether the money that they are giving you, whether it's yielding fruits or not. And this is what we call key performance indicators. In every stage of your project, they want to get reports, and they want you to show them an evidence that this project have been successful. This is how far we have gone in the project, and these are what they call evaluation plan. So you have to also state it there for them that from this stage to this stage, this is the result I must present to you that shows that I have gone far in this stage. From this stage to this stage, this is the result I'm going to present to you to show that I've gone far. This is what we call KPI, key performance indicators. Those things that you have done that showcase that the project is successful or is ongoing. Like assuming now you are running a project on setting up a website, you're running a project on setting up a school. Let me just set up. So from, are you acquiring materials, in building the school, down to from you buying or leasing the environment or the facility for the school, down to buying the necessary material, down to recruiting of staff. All these things are key performance indicators. So you must mention them when drafting out your evaluation plan, and what we are able to achieve within those things, because these are things they are going to demand for if they fund you, and when you are giving them your report, these are things they are going to what demand for. So the next thing is attachment. Sometimes they demand for some attachment like your registration document, the CV, your CV and the CV of your members of your team. You make all these attachment available and you submit it to them. Don't miss any attachment. Don't miss any. If they demand 100 documents, supporting documents, give them that 100. Don't give them 99. Give them 100, because if you give them 99, just know that there are 10,000 people that have given them 100, so they will kick you aside and focus on those that have what given them what 100. So it's a competition, so make sure that every document that they demand for, you give to them. Now, after you have developed your proposal or you have applied your proposal online, something else I want to advise you: don't apply, when applying for grant, don't apply it direct. Go on online, copy the questions separately to a Microsoft document, then take your time and what answer those questions. After you have answered those questions, send it to someone to review. I share this testimony last year during one of my grants, that the first grant I applied for, That was in 2014. I won that grant, and I was able to won that grant. That was you win grant. Those in Nigeria will know about you win. When you win was that was 25. That was the first grant I applied, and I was selected in that grant. Is why because it was easier for me, even though I don't have any knowledge of grant writing as of then 2014, but it was easier for me because I know someone that have won it in 2013. So I was able to draft it, my application, and send it to the person. The person review it for me before I submit. So whatever mistakes that I have, I was able to learn from that person. So that is the advantage of reviewing application. So I always advise, what before you don't submit that your proposal, send it to someone that is more experienced in grant writing to review it for you before you what apply, before you submit, and get every feedback from that person and document those feedback. These are easier way you can win grant. This is what I call leverage. So you can leverage for that on that and win your grant. Then the last thing is submit your proposal. Make sure that don't wait for deadline. I always advise people to make sure that you submit proposal. Sometimes you see a proposal, the deadline is March or March 30th. The mistake a lot of people make is that they wait till 30th. But if you wait till that time, let me tell you the disadvantage. The disadvantage is that you'll be in a rush, and since you are in a rush, you don't think well, and you don't have time to review, so you make a lot of dramatical errors. So but if you take your time, that time you write it, you send it for review, and after you be able to you find out that in that the more you are spending time on it, the more you are getting more insights in writing that application, and you find out that that application will have more chances of being selected than those that are being submitted or applied in a rush. Hope you are following. Please indicate if you are following. Okay, that's good. So in conclusion, I would say writing a winning grant proposal requires what? Careful planning, thorough research, and what? Clear communication. These three things is very, very important. Careful planning, thorough research, and clear what? Application. So thank you very much. So before the question, I also want to use this opportunity to also mention about these services. We are going to launch it in March. The reason why we want to launch it because a lot of people like we had a lot of report last year, and a lot of people complain to us that they apply for these applications but they don't get selected. So we now map out a section on other services we call agribusiness hub premium. Now it's a premium because it's not like the normal hub that all of you belongs to. So in this hub we have some services we want to be rendering to those that registered, to enable them to benefit, to enable them to be to be to win grant and to be empowered. So and this includes weekly webinar training. Now there are so many opportunities coming out, so we are going to pick two opportunities and we will now reveal it during the premium session. Those that are register for the premium, we will review it for them. And also one-on-one grant application review. Now due to our experience, we have helped a lot of people to win grants, a lot of foundation, a lot of business owners. So we have seen a lot of things concerning grants application. We know the do's, we know the don'ts, we know every requirements in it. So this premium services will also give you an opportunity to send your application to us for review. We will now review it for you and give you some things that you need to do to make sure that your application stand out. And also those that sorry for the distraction. Sorry for the distraction. So uh The essence of this agribusiness digest premium is to help you to win grant. That is our target. So the price is in subscription base. We have the year subscription, we have the 6 month subscription, we have the 3 month subscription. So it depends, and the price is mentioned there: $40 for those for yearly, or 50,000 naira for yearly. 6 months, $25 or 30,000. 3 months, $15 or 20,000. Now, if you divide this money in by month, you find out that what we are offering is quite affordable for the services you are going to what to render to you. But our aim is not just to our aim is to enable you and to help you to what to win grants opportunities. So I'm going to give room for question. I'm going to give you room for question. If you have any question, you can ask. If you have any question, you can ask. So that is it. We also have ready-made business plan available for those that want. You can also contact us for business plan, concept note writing, grant proposal, business pitch deck, and feasibility studies. We offer other services. So there is room for question. If you have any question, you can ask now. Obi, you are raising your hand. You can your mic and ask. You can ask. Unmute your mic and ask a question. Okay. Okay, Vincent, you can ask your question if you. Okay, as you part being part of the team. Okay, okay, don't worry. For you being part of the team, your special your own services is also special because you are also a member of agribusiness digesting. Okay. So since there is no question, I've come to the end of this section. So what I want to advise you to start. Okay, Obi, you can ask your question. Yes, can payment be instrumental? Yes, that's why we will have the 3 month plan, we have the 6 month plan, we have the 1 month plan, we have the 6 month and the 1 year plan. So the 1 year plan for a Nigerian is 50,000. The 6 month plan is 30,000. The 3 months plan is 20,000. I will prefer you being paying 20,000 than you dividing it into two. If you don't take it, so if you can raise it this continuously, so once you can save that your money till you get to that 20,000, then you can join. You can join. So it's something that is going to continue to go. So anytime you join, you raise up to that amount, you can join, even though it's for 3 months. I hope that answers your question. So I'm going to say thank you very much. What I'm going to encourage you all to do is advise you if you can develop a comprehensive grant proposal, it's going to help you a lot. The reason why developing a comprehensive grant proposal can help you a lot is that when you are applying for a grant and you have a comprehensive grant proposal available for you before you apply, it will be easier when you see an opportunity. All you just need to do is to get that proposal, get extract information from that proposal and tailor that information and submit, than you starting to write an about the proposal on a fresh note. So it saves you a lot of time, saves you a lot of stress, and it makes you not to get tired of applying for grant application. Not when you see a application, you start crafting it immediately. But if you have a proposal available, it's easier for you. So this is what I every organization we work with, we encourage them to do that, and they have been doing that, and it have been easier for them. So I encourage you to draft a proposal for yourself and for your organization. It will help you to position yourself when applying for any grant. So thank you very much for this program. We are going to organize our next section. That will be next month. That will be next month. Pitch deck. Presenting a pitch. So I'm going to invite an external body to handle the program for us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful day.